stress that I became very suspicious when all efforts in Parliament to get the government and the FA to inform us, disclose to us the amount of money they have budgeted for the AFCON. All those efforts led to nothing. They were stonewalling. They would not disclose it. They were coming up with all kinds of flimsy excuses that they haven't finalized the budget, they cannot disclose it now, we should allow them to go and come. And you see, the point must be made that our laws are very, very clear. The Constitution is clear. The Public Financial Management Act is clear. You cannot go and spend public funds, engage in public expenditure without parliamentary approval. The law is very clear. You must submit these budgets to Parliament and get an approval before you go and spend. I mean, it doesn't happen anywhere. It's as if we've become some banana republic, some lawless jungle where people do whatever they want. So we kept insisting that bring your budget. They refuse. Then your colleagues in the media, particularly the sports journalists, time without number, kept pushing them. Where is the budget? We want to know. They will not disclose. They say, oh, we are going to come. Now, they have been back for many days, and they still haven't disclosed. So that is what prompted me that, look, when a government, when public officials go to this extent to conceal information, to hide information from the people, it means that they are not proud of their action. They do not want the people to have the information because a lot has gone wrong.
But Honorable, tell me, how possible is this that Parliament has not okayed the budget and yet it's been approved and disbursements made?
It's incredible. So we cannot say that it is approved. We cannot say it is approved. They have just done their own thing. It is incredible. This doesn't happen anywhere. It doesn't happen Look, monitor all the other countries. Zambia, they presented a budget to their parliament, $2.1 million. Go to Namibia, they presented a budget to their parliament, $1.1 million. Nigeria, they presented a budget to their parliament, $1.3 million before the tournament. South Africa, Ivory Coast. Check. This is open source information. Listeners can just Google. You'll see it. So, I mean, these countries I have listed look up to Ghana when it comes to democratic tenets, when it comes to the rule of law. So it is most shocking that countries who look up to us, who don't have our democratic credentials, who sometimes we tease that they don't really do things right and they have a lot to, learn from us and all of that. Look at how they are conducting themselves. And look at what we are doing. So that is the fundamental point.
But again, Honorable, is this to say that this amount we're talking about, this $8.5 million, is aside from the 27.9 million Ghana cedis spent during the qualifying period?
Yes, it is separate. So let me be clear. This $8.5 million, I got the figure from intercepted documents, and I have since published those documents. So this was a second January 2024 document. So nobody should say it's an old document. Fresh document, just a few days to the AFCON. That this is the Minister for Finance instructing his Chief Director to write to the Honorable Kanu Foriaka that they should transfer. And they use the word smooth transfer. Very interesting. They should smoothly transfer a part payment of $5 million out of the $8.5 million. And yesterday I put out additional documents. How Kanu Foriaka responded, presented a breakdown which is so shocking, we didn't add up. And then how the Controller Accountant General, who also was asked to release the money in tranches, but he decided to release the money in full. If you look at the bank advice, which I have attached, of 12 January 2024, the Controller Accountant General released the funds to the Ministry of Youth and Sports in full. So very, very shocking. And you see, The 27.9 million which I put out earlier, I must emphasize that it is not part of this $8.5 million or 105 million Ghana cedis. If you look at the conservative exchange rate, 105 million Ghana cedis, separate. You see, the 27.9 million, I provided the breakdown. And this is, again, another expenditure they engage in without parliamentary approval. So the qualifiers, Ghana, Angola, cost us 7.4 million. Ghana, Madagascar, cost us 8.5 million. So we've provided all the breakdown. Airlifting of the Black Stars supporters, 5.3 million. So when you put all of that together, you get 27.9 million, including the coach's salaries for 3 months and his signing on fees, 3.3 million. So this 27.9 million is expenditure that the taxpayers of our country had to bear between 2022 and 2023. This 105 million, this $8.5 million is just this year, fresh budget that they have agreed amongst themselves without parliamentary approval, without parliamentary scrutiny, in flagrant violation of our laws. And if you look at the breakdown of this 105 million, my brother, I mean, yesterday I put out the breakdown as signed by Ken Oforiatta. So even before we went to the AFCON, and the few days when the Black Stars came to Kumasi, if you look at the document I've put out, they said that few days of preparation, 15 million cedis. Unbelievable.
But again,
so even before the Black Stars entered Ivory Coast, entered Cote d'Ivoire, they have blown 50 million already. They claim in Kumasi on preparations. Then you look at the second item in the breakdown, just air transport from Ghana to Ivory Coast next door and per diem. That is another 14 million. Incredible.
Honorable, let me answer this question for me, Honorable. You talk about the fact that the monies were supposed to have been paid in tranches, yet controller released the full amount, even went beyond the $5 million it is. Is that legal? Is that lawful when the finance minister says pay in tranches and then you pay in full?
It is not. It is not. So the Controller Accountant General has serious questions to answer. It is not. But you see, that is the state of our public financial management. Everybody is doing whatever they want. If the Controller Accountant General knows that you people, this figure, you didn't send it to Parliament, you don't have approval, he will also do whatever he wants. And it's a free-for-all. It's total chaos. Total chaos, total lawlessness. Everybody is just doing what they want. And I mean, how can we run a country like this? A country that is at the IMF, that is broke, that is desperately seeking a bailout. As we speak, people have lost their lives because government said it couldn't raise 4 million cedis at Kolebu, the renal unit, to take care of dialysis patients. Only 4 million cedis. Yet people could blow all these amounts of money. 27.9 million before we entered 2024. As soon as we entered 2024 for AFCON, even before we took off, they have blown 50 million cedis, another 40 million cedis, they say, on per diems. And normally, if you look at documents that have per diems and honorarium are supposed to really be the same thing. But this breakdown they have provided, there is a separate figure for per diem, then another separate figure for honorarium. I mean, it's just a free-for-all. And it's unbelievable. Look, this same